Live.
Morning.
I'm Maddie.
I'm Greg, and all together now, we are live!
This is your live family science show, and as always, today will be packed with fun, facts, and activities for you and the whole family to try at home. And because it's a new week, we have a new theme.
Yeah, we are returning to one of the first ever weeks we did on Let's Go Live, which was
Brilliant Bodies. Ooh.
Yes, we have two very special shows lined up for you.
Today we're going to be asking the question, what makes us sick and how does our body help us to get better?
Yeah, and then on Thursday we're going to be finding out about vaccinations. What is a vaccine and how does it help your body stop getting sick?
This week we're really excited to have UKRI supporting the show. UK Research and Innovation. They fund cutting edge science and research. Everything from Stonehenge, climate change, self-driving cars, and then more recently they have been supporting the development of the COVID-19 vaccine.
Yeah, so a big thank you to them for supporting us this week.
Thank you. But how are you though? Are you all right? Hello if you're watching live. If you're catching up later, hello. Maybe we could do some air fives. That's it.
I call them Wi-Fives.
Why? Why? Because it's over Wi-Fi.
Well, it's even better. I was going to say because it's distance, but yeah, Wi-Fi.
Why over the Wi-Fi? Nice.
So, all right, a return to Brilliant Bodies Week, eh? So, Brilliant Bodies Week saw the arrival of the legend that is the Let's Go Live mascot, Digestive Dave. Talking of Dave, I actually haven't seen Dave this morning.
Yeah.
Have you seen him?
I was kind of hoping we wouldn't have to get into this right now because we've just started the live show.
What happened?
Nothing. It's just,
Go on, Maddie, go on.
Okay. I found Dave playing outside, pretending to be a squirrel again. Yeah.
So, right. If you joined us for Pet Week, you will remember that Dave did like to basically hang out and pretend to be a squirrel. And I think that all of this started back in Theme Park Week when we built him that teddy zip line.
Yeah, but that's not quite all because this time he was also playing with our pet rocks, Rubble and Reef.
Right,
they were all out there together.
Oh, is this what this picture is?
Yeah,
Rubble and Reef hanging out there. Okay, right, yes. What happened?
Well, they all fell off.
Okay.
Right. Rubble and Reef are absolutely fine because they're rock solid, literally. But Dave scratched his leg a little bit.
Ooh.
Yeah, I think he stumbled on rubble and scratched his leg that way.
Okay.
I'll get him. He's just a little bit under the weather. He's all right though.
What's Dave like? Always getting into scrapes on his adventures.
Here we go. See?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so he's got a little scratch on his leg.
Mm-hmm.
He's probably feeling a little bit under the weather.
Yeah.
And it looks a little bit red and inflamed.
Yeah.
So there's probably something else kind of going on, a little bit of an infection there.
I think so, but I wonder what has made this little cut so red and swollen.
Well, there's only one thing we need to do right now, and that one thing we need to do is we need to put our detective skills, right, from Spy Week back on with science. It's time to become germ detectives.
Oh, okay. All right then. We better get kitted up to be germ detectives. Go. Get this on.
Get the scrubs on. Okay, good.
Brilliant.
Okay, nice.
What's that?
Okay, good.
Better?
Okay, now I think we're all ready.
Great.
Yes.
Greg.
We need to investigate the different types of germs that could be making Dave's leg, his cut, sore. So if we can work out what the germ might be that's doing it, then we might be able to help him get better quicker.
That sounds great, but I think first we should probably explain what a germ is.
Good point. All right, let's start then with what a germ is. Now, don't know if you know this, but we are actually surrounded by tiny living creatures called microbes. Yeah. And almost all of them are teeny tiny, super small, so small that you can't see them with your eyes. You need to use something like a microscope to see them.
Yeah, some of those microbes are totally harmless. Some of them actually do good things in your body, but some microbes can make us sick.
Yes.
We call the microbes that can make us sick pathogens, but you might have also heard them called germs. Pathogens and germs, the same thing. Germs can infect humans by getting into our bodies and they can make us feel poorly in lots of different ways.
So as germ detectives, we are going to meet some of these pathogens, some of these different types of germs that could have infected Dave's leg, and we're going to work out what pathogen it could be. What's making it feel all sore?
Okay, well, let's not waste any time at all.
Awesome. Before we start, though,
Yeah.
we should take a sample from Dave. Okay, I want to take just a
idea.
little sample from that cut, that wound of that
Okey-dokey.
infection. So we use a cotton bud.
Yeah, got a little cotton bud here. It's going to take a little swab of that. Sorry, Dave, might sting a
Great
little
stuff.
bit.
And then let's send
You
that
pop
off.
him back on the
Let's
thing
send that
behind
off
us.
to the Let's Go Live laboratory.
Okay, so that's our sample going in there.
That'll be super quick. They'll be able to do the test really quick.
To the lab.
So the good news is, while we wait for the results, we can start our investigation. We can find out. We're going to have a look at 4 different germs that could be causing Dave's ouchie.
An ouchie?
Yeah, an ouchie.
I don't know, you called it an
Do
ouchie?
you call it an ouchie?
I don't call it an ouchie.
I think it's cute. All right, anyway.
It's sweet.
These germs are microscopic. They're really small. So we have to look at them underneath a microscope.
I have a microscope. Here we go. It's very high-tech equipment here.
Okay.
All right then, Greg. Bring in the baddies.
All right, so here's the first sample.
Yeah.
This is a germ called bacteria,
Right.
and this is actually bacteria Medella.
Ooh.
You got it? You ready?
Yeah, I'm looking.
There it is.
Whoa. So this is like no other bacteria I've ever seen before.
Yeah, can you see those long flowy bits?
Yeah.
They're called flagella. They help some kinds of bacteria move around, and bacteria are found on every habitat on Earth. Soil, rock, ocean, Arctic snow, plants, even humans too.
Well, some bacteria, like bacteria Medella, they can make us poorly, but it's good to know that not all bacteria are baddies.
No, we actually have a mix of trillions of different types of bacteria inside our digestive systems to help us break down our food.
Yeah, we have bacteria all over our skin to help protect it.
Yeah, and we can even find good bacteria in some foods as well, like yogurts and cheeses.
Yeah. Something tells me that the bacteria we just saw, bacteria Medella, might only exist in the world of Let's Go Live.
Yeah.
So it might be helpful to look at some real-world pathogens, some real-world germs to see the similarities.
That's a good idea.
Yeah?
Okay, so
All right, then.
here is a real-world, that's what I'd say. Here is a real-world pathogen. So let's have a look at bacteria. This is a salmonella, a type of baddie bacteria that tends to spread through contaminated food.
But look, you can see those flagella. They whip around and push the bacteria about like little boat propellers. In Salmonella, the flagella are one of the most important tools that it uses to make someone sick.
Yeah. Now, when a Salmonella bacteria is swallowed, they might attack the lining of the digestive system. So a Salmonella kind of moves around, it multiplies. That means it copies itself lots and lots of times. And that makes the digestive system very unhappy. In fact, if you know someone who's been unlucky enough to get Salmonella before, they might have spent quite a lot of time on the toilet.
Yeah, I've had it before. Have
Yeah.
you?
Yeah,
Got it from eating shellfish.
I've had it before.
It does happen.
One of
It
those
does
things.
happen.
One of those things.
All right then. Okay, so next up, can we have our next germ culprit, please?
Yeah.
Bacteria
Here is
Medella.
the next one. So we've
What's
had a
this?
look at one type of germ, one type of pathogen, bacteria. This is the next type of germ.
Yeah.
This is a type of virus.
Ooh.
Have a look on down there, and you
Okay.
should be able to see yourself.
Yeah.
Virus gregorius.
Yeah.
There it is. It looks quite different. Less flowy.
Yeah, it is different.
Viruses are the smallest type of germs, but some can make us very sick.
But viruses can't do anything on their own. They need to live inside another living thing, like an animal or a human. And to do that, they have to get into our cells.
Yes.
It's a little bit like how you can't go on a long journey to the shops without a grown-up driving you there or getting a bus. Viruses can't do anything unless they hitch a ride, unless they get inside our human body cells.
Right, so now let's have a look at a real virus. We're going to have a look at a type of coronavirus, something that you may well have heard quite a lot about.
Yeah, there isn't just one coronavirus though. We can think of them like a family of coronaviruses, of viruses.
So COVID-19 is caused by one member of the coronavirus family, one particular type of coronavirus, and it has the potential to make some people very sick. Other types of coronavirus, though, they might just give someone a little bit of a sniffle.
Yeah, like lots of viruses, a coronavirus spreads from person to person in droplets that fly out when you breathe, talk, cough, or sneeze.
Okay, this is a slow motion sneeze. Here it comes.
These tiny drops from a sick person move through the air and can land on the mouths or noses of other people nearby. But also, these same mucus droplets, they can pass viruses from person to person. If someone with a coronavirus coughs or sneezes onto a surface like a desk, and then someone else comes along, touches that surface, and then touches their face, their eyes, or the mouth without washing their hands, then it can pass on that way as well. Let's just have another look at the coronavirus again. We've got the picture of it.
Sure.
Here.
There you go. Now have a look at the sticky out bits here on the coronavirus. All coronaviruses in the family have these sticky out bits. They let the virus attach to the cells inside somebody's body, and they let themselves into the cells so that they can make loads more copies. But we're going to get to that very, very soon.
Yeah, when the virus gets inside a cell, it can make it difficult for the cell to do its job properly. And if that happens to a lot of cells, say the cells inside the lungs, which is where the virus that causes COVID-19 likes to hang out, then it can make it tricky for that person to breathe.
So that's bacteria, viruses.
Yeah.
We said there were 4 different types of germs.
Yes.
So let's look at the 3rd type.
Okay, what's that one?
Fungi.
Are they? Hey Greg, are they a fungi?
It's a classic. I mean, even I didn't go there, but it's a classic.
Okay, too easy. All right, here's fungi fertilis.
All right, focus down on that one.
Yeah.
Got it?
Yep, got it.
Right, here it is. Now, under the microscope, some fungi look like little branching trees. And just like a real tree, their branches help them reach out for nutrients to keep themselves alive in and on your body.
But fungi are a really big group of organisms. The mushrooms you can buy in a shop to eat, they're also fungi. We should never pick wild mushrooms, but if you get mushrooms in a shop, then yeah, they'll be safe to eat.
The type of fungi that can make you sick are much, much smaller than a mushroom. Much smaller. We've got a real life example.
Yes, a real life example. This is a type of fungi that can make us poorly. It's called epidermophyton. It's a really long word.
Good job.
But...
That's why I let you say it.
I noticed that. But it causes a type of skin rash that's called ringworm.
So here is this real life fungus.
Yeah,
it's a little bit of a trickster.
Yes.
Because although it causes ringworm, it's not a worm at all. It's a fungus.
Yeah, so this fungus actually makes a substance that can break down our skin cells and use them for energy. So it's kind of like us eating your skin, which is sort of gross. But as it does that, it makes this sort of donut ring-shaped rash, which is why it's called ringworm. But it's really common, nothing to worry about, and it can be easy to treat as well.
Yeah. Okay, so bacteria, viruses, fungi, and the final 4th one, a parasite. So here's your sample of parasite.
So what parasite is this?
This is parasite Motoli.
Motoli,
that's it, because it sounds like E. coli.
Not that common.
No, not that common. All right, have a look.
Looking at it.
Here it is. Yes, parasites are like little shapeshifters. They're bigger than most of our other germs, but they come in all shapes and sizes.
Some of them start out as tiny eggs, and if you accidentally swallow them, they'll hatch and they could become tiny worms. They can make you poorly by eating your food from inside you before you have a chance to digest it. But if you look really closely, some of them have little hooks that are like teeth.
Now, one of the most common real types of parasite worms that infect humans are threadworms.
Yeah, sometimes they're called pinworm as well. Loads of us have had it though. It's really normal.
Yeah, especially when we're little. So what happens is you may swallow the eggs. So they might get on your fingers, and then if you haven't washed your hands, they'll get in your mouth. Yeah. And then what happens is those eggs, they hatch in your gut into tiny little white worms.
Yeah, and when those worms come out of your body, they can make your bottom quite itchy.
They can, yes.
Yeah, but again, they're not dangerous. It's nothing to worry about.
We've all had them.
We've all had them. They're really easy to treat. So that's a type of parasite.
Okay, so there we go. Those are our 4 culprits, our 4 suspects for what could be causing Dave's ouchie. So let's have a look at them. Here they are, the 4 types of pathogen: bacterias, viruses, fungi, parasites.
Wow, quite the motley crew of germs then. However, the good news is that if germs get into our bodies, then we've got a really, really great way of fighting them off.
Yes.
But before we get into that, we do need to work out which of those germs probably infected Dave's cut on his leg.
What do you think?
Ooh.
Do you think it was a bacteria, a virus, a a fungi or a parasite? Let us know. If you're watching live, whack it in the live chat.
What might have got into Dave's cut just there? Poor little thing. Let's put these away.
Okay,
I think microscope's off. Do you want to pop him down? I'll put this down here. Yeah, not going to needing that for a while.
All right. I think it's kind of amazing to look into this microscopic world around us, because we share our planet. We, the food we eat, even our bodies, with so many of these tiny microbes. Some of them good, some of them bad.
Yeah, check this out, just to get an idea of how many microbes there are in the world. I've got a teaspoon of soil just here. Right, see that?
Not much.
It's thought, or it's possible, that inside this 1 teaspoon of soil, there could be 1 billion bacteria alone.
Sorry, what?
1 billion. Think of 100, then think of 1,000, then think of 1,000,000, and then think of 1 billion in there. Isn't that bonkers?
That is incredible. That is absolutely incredible.
That's the door. Could be the results.
Already?
Get them. Yeah.
Told you they were speedy. All right, go. Let's see what you lot then were saying in the live chat. Lots of people thinking, it's kind of, okay, we've got lots of people saying bacteria. We've got lots of people saying fungus. Lots of people saying fungus. A few people thinking a virus, but I think most are going bacteria.
I've got the results.
Okay.
What do people think?
I think most people are going bacteria. Quite a few fungi references of fungus.
Idea, because bacteria can live on the surfaces of things. So the results say it is. You're right, bacteria medella.
It's bacteria
it was.
medella. Well done to everyone who said it was bacteria. We weren't sure. That's why we did a test. Yeah. Okay, so that was it. Here we go.
You were right though. You thought it might be bacteria medella.
Bacteria medella, hanging out on the side of rubble. Or possibly, it could have been on rubble, our little pet rock, or could have been in the soil itself. Yeah. And then when Dave fell off and made that little graze, that little cut, bacteria medella was like, in I go. Straight
That's a really good theory. So maybe that's how it got into the cut from the surface of the soil or rubble. What I want to know, though, is how do germs actually make us sick? Because if they're that tiny, if there are 1 billion of them in there, how do bad germs make us poorly in the first place if they're so small?
Okay, to find out the answer to that question, we need to look even closer at some of them germs, and we need to look at especially the structures that are on the outside of them, right? This is where it gets really interesting. You can think of all these surface structures as essentially tools. Okay. Right? Tools that the germs use to make us feel unwell. So let's first have a look at the tools on bacteria medella.
The culprit. Okay. So we know bacteria move about with their flagella. She's swinging them around there. But can you also see those fuzzy bits? Those tools can help a bacteria cling on to places that they like to live.
It's squirting. Look, it's producing goo.
Oh, wow.
So some bacteria release toxins that make us sick. And you could see bacteria medella there releasing those toxins.
Yeah, so that's how bacteria medella must be irritating Dave's cut.
Yes.
What about viruses, though?
Oh, good question.
Right, because we've been hearing a lot about how viruses, like the coronavirus that causes COVID-19, can make us ill. But how do viruses work?
Okay, let's have a closer look at virus gregorius.
Okay.
Viruses are a little bit different. Remember that a virus can't do much on its own, right? But see all these sticky bits all over its body?
Yeah.
Those are the tools that viruses use to get into the cells of another living being. Just like getting into like a car or a bus to take that journey to the shops.
Right, so those sticky out bits help them to hitch a ride, basically.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to see a little bit more of those later. But let's think more about viruses and how they work with the help of some modelling clay and crafty bits.
Yes.
Greg, you ready to get arty?
I love a craft. Let's do this.
We're going to design our own viruses. So here we go. I've got some bits here.
Okay, what we got?
You can use anything you have lying around the house, but we are using some modelling clay and then some little bits and pieces. Right, I've just got a notepad here, so I'm going to give you some paper and a pen.
Yeah,
and the first thing we need to do when designing a virus is decide what is our virus going to do. So my virus is going to spread through mucus droplets when somebody coughs or sneezes. But if somebody gets a bit of that virus in their eye, it's going to make them itchy and gunky.
Okay, my virus is going to give someone a snotty nose. I'm going to write snotty nose.
Okay, so what we've both done is we've written that down on a piece of paper, and we can now think of these as our instructions, okay? And this is a little set of instructions for how my virus works, and that is a set of instructions for how your virus works.
Yeah, absolutely.
Every microbe and every cell on Earth has a set of instructions like this. We call this genetic material. All right.
Okay, so this is my virus's instructions, my virus's genetic material.
So what we're going to do is we're going to roll these up into sort of like that's it, roll it up and fold it into a small little shape. Okay. So there you go. This is your genetic material. The
genetic material is all rolled up, folded up.
Yeah, and the genetic material needs to go inside the rest of the virus. And for that, we're going to use modelling clay. Do you want red, blue, or yellow?
Please.
Red for you. Okay, I'm going to go yellow. All right, tell you what.
Okay,
I'm
so
make
this is going to be like the body of the virus.
Yeah, exactly. In fact, watch what I'm doing over here. So I'm actually now going to put in my genetic material into what's sort of the rest of the virus, and I'm going to squidge a ball around it like that. Nice. What are you doing?
Okay, I'm going to go, I'm going to do the same, put the genetic material inside the virus, but I'm going to kind of make this long and thin, I think.
Feel like a sausage.
A bit more sausage shaped.
Okay, so I've now got the body of my virus, and now we need to put the sticky out bits on the outside.
All the surface structures.
Yeah, exactly. I think I'm going to use bits of pasta for mine, so I'm just going to stick those around the edge this.
Coming in.
And remember, we can think of these sticky out bits, the surface structures, a little bit like the virus's ticket onto another cell. When the sticky out bit comes into contact with a cell, it's sort of like opening a door, and the cell will let it in, and the virus can kind of smoosh its way into the cell like that.
Oh, nice.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, all right. I've gone for pipe cleaners on mine and a few little bits of decoration.
Nice.
Sticking out from the side.
All right, so those are your surface structures, the tickets. But we have to remember that every ticket...
Yeah, well, you've got to get the right ticket for the right journey.
Exactly.
Because if you get on a bus or a train with the wrong ticket, you're not going to be able to make your journey.
No. So the surface structures, the sticky out bits on a virus are specific to a certain type of cell.
Gotcha.
Right. So let's say that my hand here is a cell, and Greg, your virus has the right ticket. So it can come along.
Yeah. So it's got the right kind of shape, combination of these pipe cleaners.
That's it, and the surface structure comes into contact with the cell, and I'm like, oh yeah, that's about right. So you can smoosh on inside the cell.
Oh yeah, I'm in.
But this virus doesn't have the right ticket, so it might come along to the cell, it might try to get in, and no, sorry, it's not going to be let in. Okay.
Okay, got it. Okay, nice. I love that.
Yeah.
So once the virus has got into the cell, then what happens? So mine got into the cell.
Yes.
All right.
Okay,
cool.
so now what happens is that the virus almost like takes off its coat and jacket, so it takes off those surface structures. And what it does, it just leaves the genetic material behind. So let's imagine we're inside the cell here, and then what we're getting is where is it? This is the yellowish disguised. And then all we're left with are the genetic material, like that. But we can actually think of every cell in the human body a little bit like a factory. And that factory can make its own tools and copies of itself. But what the virus does is it hijacks that machinery. It stops the cell from being a cell factory and turns it into a virus factory using the instructions that are now inside it.
Okay, so I've got it. So firstly, it's got to have the right ticket. It's got to have the right surface structures to get into a cell.
Yes.
When it's in the cell, it kind of takes off that outer jacket
Yeah.
and reveals just the genetic material.
The instructions.
Yeah, and it just leaves those instructions there.
Yeah.
And then those instructions like take over the cell's normal factory.
Yeah,
Okay,
exactly.
all right, gotcha. And then a couple of things happen.
Right, exactly. So firstly, the virus, it might break out of the cell and go and infect other cells because it starts to make lots of copies of itself.
It replicates.
Yeah, it's multiplying.
Yeah. And the second thing it can do is that by doing that actually changes the original cell, right? It changes the original factory inside the cell, and that can stop it doing its original job properly. So it might die, or that cell might get damaged, and it's that cell getting damaged that makes us feel sick and poorly.
Exactly, because it's no longer a cell-making cell, it's now a virus-making cell.
Viruses are clever.
They are. So there you go.
Sneaky little virus.
Why don't you have a go at making your own viruses at home? All you need is some modelling clay, crafty bits, and you just need to write down sort of your instructions, the genetic material to go inside.
If you do have a go, we'd love to see it.
Yeah.
You can email us helloletsgolive@gmail.com.
Okay, I'll do a little
I'm going to
tidy
give
up.
you a snotty nose back.
So there you go. That's how
And
a
the
virus
parasite.
works to make us poorly.
Made a right little mess there. Now, don't worry, our bodies have a fantastic defense system to deal with those sneaky invaders like those viruses.
And that defense system is called our
Immune system. Okay, brilliant.
Yeah, our immune system is what helps protect our bodies from the pathogens, the germs, just like the virus and bacteria Medela. And these are invaders. But the immune system, it protects us in lots of different ways.
Okay, excited about this. It's time to have a look at these different defense systems in our immune system. Okay, so this is great. It means we get to sit back, relax, and watch our favourite show, Maddie.
Oh, great.
What is it?
I love this. This is the Let's Go Live Guide to the Immune System.
The Let's Go Live Guide to the Immune System, starring Maddie as Bacteria Medela, Greg as Virus Gregorius, and also Maddie as the white blood cells. The Let's Go Live Guide to the Immune System.
Brilliant.
Oh, good. Yes. This is one of my favourite shows. And I can remember the start as well. It's all about our immune system's first line of defence, the external barrier, which is our skin.
Let's imagine that the house is a human body. That makes the walls of the house the skin. The skin is a physical barrier which stops germs from entering.
Careful, Virus Gregorius. You're not going to get in that way.
That's not going to work either, Bacteria Medela.
But sometimes germs do find a way to sneak in. If humans get a cut or graze, then the skin barrier is broken and germs can get through.
All very sneaky work there, Bacteria.
So that is how Bacteria Medela was able to infect Dave's little cut here by sneaking into the cut on his leg. But don't worry, Dave's going to be fine.
Yeah. Now, look, there are other ways that a bacteria could get into your body or the other pathogens, right? Other gaps, other holes, for example, your eyes, your nose, or your mouth.
Yeah, but thankfully our immune system has something up its sleeve to help there. Mucus.
Now let's imagine the door to the house is our body's nose. Looks like a big old space for Virus Gregorius to fly straight on in, right? Wrong.
Our nose produces snot, a thick gloopy mucus that can trap germs and stop them from getting further into our bodies.
Uh-oh, here comes the tissue. And the sneeze!
Nice try, Virus Gregorius. Not this time.
Who knew we had bogies to thank to help stop us getting ill?
Thanks, bogies. And that also explains why we get a blocked nose when we get a cold. Because what it is it's our body making more of that mucus, right, to catch those germs. Yeah. So we can get rid of them.
Which is why if we blow our nose, it's a good idea to use a tissue to catch the snotty germs. We can put them in the bin.
Very sensible. Yeah. Sometimes though, germs like Virus Gregorius actually make it past these barriers. Yeah. And they get inside our body where they can cause an infection. So what happens then?
Well, this is where our second line of defence comes in, the white blood cells. So you might remember way back when we did Brilliant Bodies last year, we made a model of some blood.
We did.
You can now find this activity on the Let's Go Live Science Activities website. There's a link in the description box below. But when we did this activity, we learned that white blood cells in our blood, they move around our body in the blood, and it's their job to spot germs and get rid of them.
Yeah, they're like our internal army.
Yeah, absolutely.
Ready to attack the invaders.
Yeah, however, different white blood cells will do this in different ways. So let's meet the white blood cells.
Oh no, Virus Gregorius has made it past the external barriers and is inside the human body.
Don't worry, the white blood cells are here. It's possible a white blood cell will spot the invading virus with all its strange surface structures and recognise that it shouldn't be there.
If this happens, they'll use their tools to attack the germ and get rid of it.
However, sometimes our white blood cells won't recognise the invading germ. Perhaps they've never seen it before, or maybe they don't yet have the right tools to get rid of it. They'll have to learn for next time.
Interesting. So, if our white blood cells don't recognise the invading germ, what do?
Well, if that happens, we might get a little bit sick, but it's okay because some white blood cells will be busy making little tags called antibodies to help deal with the problem. Keep watching.
When a white blood cell spots a germ they haven't seen before, they make and send out little tags called antibodies.
These antibodies are designed to fit on that germ's surface structures. Look how the antibodies fit onto the virus Gregorius surface structures. It's a little bit like a key fitting into a lock. They go together perfectly.
With the surface structures all bound up with antibodies, the germ is now useless and won't be making its way into our cells anytime soon.
Get out of here, virus Gregorius.
Great work, white blood cells.
I love watching that show.
Yeah.
So interesting.
Yeah, I think it's great.
So I guess
Such good actors.
I guess antibodies, right? Antibodies are the reason why you only get sick with some things once. Yeah, so like chickenpox, right? You rarely get that a second time.
Yeah, rarely. And at first, your body didn't know how to fight off the virus that causes chickenpox because it hadn't seen it before. So it means that you get those itchy red spots. But while you were sick, your white blood cells were learning what that virus kind of looked like. And they were busy making antibodies to stick on all of its surface structures to stop it from working.
Gotcha. So then if the virus ever comes back again, then, the white blood cells will recognize it.
Yeah.
It knows which antibodies to make. So it quickly starts making them again, and you're probably not going to get sick.
Exactly. The antibodies are incredible, and we're going to talk about them loads more in our Thursday show, which is all about vaccines.
Yeah, really looking forward to that one. So our immune systems are awesome, right? And there are some things we can do to give our immune system a bit of a helping hand.
So let's think, a little bit quickly about how we can help Dave to get better. What can we do?
Well, first of all, we need to make sure that Dave has a lot of rest.
Yeah.
And that Dave drinks a lot of water.
Yeah.
And eats a lot of healthy food. Basically, everything we can do for Dave to make sure that his immune system is as strong as possible.
Yeah, I think Dave Cut's going to be fine, but we could give Dave some medicine. And for a bacteria infection like this cut, we could use something called an antibiotic.
Ah, yes, an antibiotic. Yeah, they could be tablets, could be creams.
Yeah. So an antibiotic is a type of medicine, and we give people medicine after they get sick. So yeah, I think maybe some little antibiotic cream here will really help. And those antibiotics, they will help to kill the bacteria, to stop them from infecting and getting that infection from spreading really elsewhere. So all we would be doing would be giving Dave's white blood cells a helping hand.
Now, medicines like antibiotics can make us feel better, but it's really important not to go and play with creams or medicines, all right? And if you are feeling sick, tell a grown-up.
Yeah. Antibiotics are great for fighting bacteria. However, they won't treat a germ such as a virus.
No.
For that, we would need antiviral medicines. But sometimes the best way to sort of deal with a virus is to try and avoid getting sick in the first place if you can. So it's really a good idea to just stay healthy as much as possible.
Stay healthy, stay safe.
Yeah.
So we know that viruses mainly spread from person to person. We saw it earlier in droplets that fly out when you cough or when you sneeze or even when you talk or when you breathe. And that's why it's really important for us to wash our hands and to keep our distance and to wear a mask with the new coronavirus around that causes COVID-19.
Because the idea is that we're stopping it from spreading. So we're avoiding people getting sick in the first place.
Yes.
But there is another thing we can do to stop us getting poorly with a virus. And that is to get a vaccine. So vaccines help our white blood cells make those antibodies, but we're going to find out all about that on Thursday.
Yeah, we sure are. For this show, we thought, hey, we need to do an awkward selfie. We do an awkward selfie in every Let's Go Live show when we remember. And we thought, you know what? I think it's going to be more fun if you actually do that with Bacteria medella and virus Gregorius.
We thought so. So if you do want to grab a little snap now, get someone with a camera. You ready for the awkward selfie? Here it is. Okay, you ready?
Yes.
Here it goes. 1, 2, 3.
It's the awkward selfie. Even
So
more
awkward.
awkward when we watch ourselves
isn't
being
it?
awkward.
Oh yeah,
That's
so
like meta,
awkward.
double awkward. If you do have a go at anything we've shown you today, if you make your own germ costumes, or if you have a go at making your own viruses, like the craft that Maddie showed us, we would love to see them. A couple of ways you can do that. You can get a grown-up to snap a picture and send it to our email, helloletsgolive@gmail.com, or we are also on the social medias. We'd love to see your awkward selfies, please. So tag us at Maddie Mo Agrayfoot on Twitter and Instagram.
I think now that we should have a bit of a throwback to last week when we were
Throwback.
talking about climate and climate change. Loads of you have been wonderful weather watchers and have been making lots of sort of arts and crafts to observe the weather where you are. So we want to take a look at some of your pictures.
All right, here's a few of them. Here's Ewan, who loved making his windsock from some recycling.
Here is Tilly. It looks like Tilly used a huge crisp packet to make her windsock. That's a great idea because it's such a light material.
Cara and Isaac made a windsock and a rain gauge. Look, they're jelly rain gauge. Nice.
Great use of recycling all round. Josie and Luca, they're all set for some rain to fall with their rain gauge too.
Jacob has also made a rain gauge. A lot of you are wishing for rain. So sun.
And he's made a pudding with the extra jelly.
I think that's a cloud.
Sort of
Definitely a cloud, yeah.
Poppy and Alice, they made windsocks, and they actually used a compass to work out which way the wind was blowing. Good idea.
Very nice.
Very accurate observation you were taking there. Before we head off, though, we would just like to thank UKRI once again for supporting Let's Go Live this week. And we are going to be back on Thursday when we'll be speaking to a scientist who they have supported. And we're going to find out about how they have helped to make a vaccine to reduce the spread of COVID-19.
Yeah. All right. Should we do some birthdays?
Yeah.
All right.
Do
Before we go,
birthdays.
do some birthdays. I'll do yesterday's birthdays. We'll just two of them, right?
Yeah.
Jacob
Yeah.
turned 7 yesterday. Buffy turned 5 yesterday.
Happy birthday, you two.
Happy birthday fiesta, you two.
And we have some birthdays today as well. So Lucy is 11 today, Bronte is 5 today, and Jessica is 8 today. Happy birthday!
We've got a couple tomorrow because we don't have a show tomorrow. Ben turns 9 tomorrow. Kaylee turns 7 tomorrow. Harry and Jessie both turn 6 tomorrow. Happy birthday!
Happy birthday! Or tomorrow! Fantastic. I think we've got some schools watching live, Greg.
We do have
Who's watching
some
us
schools
right
watching
now?
live. We got Fair Isle Junior School in Southampton
A big hello to Orchards Junior School.
and John Perrin Primary School.
Oh, old faithfuls, hello you lot. Also to a big hello to South
Gosford
First School in Newcastle.
That's
Hello
the one.
everyone.
And hello to everyone else watching live now in schools. We know lots of you are tuning in.
And also, I think we can definitely say that Dave is absolutely fine. I know that some of you are concerned about him, but this little cut is going to get some medicine on it, and he's going to be sorted.
Dave will be all right.
Yeah.
Let's say if you are watching back, thanks for watching. Goodbye to you. Let's do a few goodbyes from the live chat as well. Iggy in Clitheroe and Hebar in West Sussex.
Goodbye to Audrey and Sophie.
Edward and Marianne.
Goodbye to Lewis and Oscar, and goodbye to the Flynn family.
Goodbye Laura and James and Josh and Timmy.
Goodbye to Philomena. Goodbye Isaac, Ruben, Gabby, Hannah, and Connor.
I'm going to
Thank you
squeeze
for
a few
watching.
more in. Annabelle, Salma, Imran, Ralph, Esme, Frank and Elijah.
Thank you so much, everybody.
If you haven't yet subscried to the channel,
Oh yeah, do that.
click subscribe. Come join us. Click
Yeah,
subscribe.
and it's easier to find out when we're going to be doing another live video.
Yeah.
But other than that, we're going to see you on Thursday, live at 11 a.m. to explore vaccines.
Until then, what do they need to do?
You need to stay curious.
Stay curious, you know. All right. Bye.
Bye.